John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Greek word for, word is logos, and logos has a long history in Greek thinking. Not as well known, but gaining some traction in some circles in recent years, is the Hebrew background for using the word, or logos, for Jesus that comes from both the Hebrew scriptures and the Targums, which are the Aramaic translations of those Hebrew scriptures. This background shows that the Trinitarian thinking we see more clearly in John 1:1 and the rest of the New Testament was there less clearly, but still there, before the Messiah's arrival. Let's start by looking at the Hebrew Scriptures. We'll be using the Jewish Publication Society's 1917 translation of the Bible. In Genesis 15:1 we see this: After these things the word of Hashem came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield. Thy reward shall be exceedingly great. The word of Hashem, the name, meaning God's personal name is what Hashem means, came to Abram in a vision. This is not just an audible word, since the word of Hashem came to Abram in a vision. If it was just an audible word, it wouldn't be in a vision. This can be seen in 1 Samuel chapter 3 in the narrative about the call of Samuel. And the word of Hashem was rare in those days. There was no frequent vision. In this passage, it is clear that the Lord reveals himself through the word of the Lord. This has correspondence with the New Testament's testimony, where Jesus makes the invisible God known. The second person of the Trinity, the Son, is revealing the first person of the Trinity, the Father. John 1:18. No one has ever seen God, the only God. He has made him known. We see this in the prophets as well, like in Jeremiah chapter 1, where the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah speaking. And later, the distinction between the word of the Lord and the Lord isn't there, in line with what we see in John chapter 1. In other passages, the word of the Lord is seen and speaks. In other words, the word of the Lord is a person, and also not just an audible phenomenon. In the Targums, references to the Lord are frequently replaced with the term the word of the Lord. I'll link to a very helpful website that collates all these references. Of the many examples, Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 in the Jerusalem Targum, Genesis 3:10 in the Onkelos and Jerusalem Targums. Here in Genesis 9:13, instead of the rainbow being a covenant between me and the earth, it's a covenant between my word and the earth. In Genesis 31:50, instead of God being a witness between Jacob and Laban, the word of the Lord is the witness between them. In Exodus 3, God tells Moses that his word will be Moses' helper. In the Hebrew of Deuteronomy 4:33, we read, Did ever a people hear the voice of God speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and live? In the Targums, the voice of God becomes the voice of the word of the Lord. Outside of the Torah, we see similar substitutions in Isaiah. This is only a small sample of the examples we see in the Targums. As we have seen from both the Hebrew Scriptures and the Targums, John 1:1 has a Jewish background as well as a Greek background, and it even has a Hellenistic Jewish background we didn't cover. From this background, contra groups like the Jehovah's Witnesses, John was able to pull from passages which highlight the Trinitarian doctrine he wanted to communicate about the Messiah.